Welcome to Wei and Cathy show. I'm your host Wei Fang. So today I will be your host, and we'll be talking about a 60,000 miles story. Okay, because I started a series in my Chinese channel and about how American come to today, and which was quite well received. So I'm thinking about I want to tell the same story here. I do want to know that how you think about that. Okay, so before we start, let me just give you the direct answers. Who I will be, depicting or presenting. Okay, it's Curtis Bowers. For those of you who know Curtis Bowers, can you just leave your words there and see, and then I will know that how many of you already know him. But I did an interview, 2-hour interview of him 5 years ago, 2017 in September. So I have that story, and I want to tell you again because it's a story that everybody simply has to know. And after that, I will be talking about the starting of the gradual, it's called gradual communism, how that got started 140 years ago up to today, and how America become the America that we know today. Okay, so we know further ado, we'll just get started, okay? And yeah. All right, so 5 years ago, I interviewed Curtis Bowers, and he told me this story, okay? He talked about this in his documentary, The Grinding American Down, but some of that he did not talk about that, only during the interview. So it has to do with, basically 30 years ago, in the year of 1992. Curtis Bowers was a graduate student in University of Colorado Boulder, okay? So one day, there's a old professor who specialized in studying communism, and made a phone call to him and saying that, you know what, the American Communist Party just have a splitter, okay? So they're gonna hold a conference in UC Berkeley. I want to know what they're gonna do, but they already recognize me, so it's not very convenient for me to go. Can you go instead? So Curtis Bowers, he's young, he was curious. He said, of course I can go, it's kind of fun. So he agreed to fly to UC Berkeley and check it out on behalf of this old professor. So, and this new splitter of the Communist Party is called American Reporter Commission, okay? To many Americans, this is a very patriotic word because the founding fathers, when they first organized their independent movement, and they call themselves American Reporter Committee, okay? So, wow, it's very curious, for them to assume that name. So Curtis Bowers thought that it would be just a few radical young students. He did not expect on that day 1,400 people show up. Most of them, they are 50-year and 60-year and 70-year-old. They look like a mainstream, people, look like intellectuals, and they dress in suit and have this, formal bags, and it looks very decent. So Curtis Bowers was sitting there listening to their talk for 3 days, and the more he listened, the more he feel unbelievable. So what type of Americans are these people? They hate Americans so much. Okay, what they are talking about is all evil topic, and then in their mind, it's filled their mind are filled with hatred. They just want to destroy America. So, the rough agenda is this. Okay, they said, Soviet Union fell apart. Our military route failed. Now we need to adopt the Plan B. Okay, which is disintegrate America from within and subvert this country. And if we can destroy America, we can take over the whole world. So how do they do it? Okay, they have detailed study. They identify there are 3 pillars to America. First is American family, because it brings happiness and it brings stability. The second is American free enterprise, because it's bring wealth and it bring prosperity. The third is the morality of America, because it gives a standard of living and a value to Americans. All right. So if as long as America has all this, people in this country will not choose any other route. Communism would have no way to take over America. So targeting all those three pillars, they come up with a specific plan. First, for the American, to target American family. Okay, at that time, the feminism has been very successful. They said, the leader, Betty Friedan, she's the founder of the American feminist movement. And as a matter of fact, she's a communist propaganda member. And he's also a loyalist of Stalin, a former Soviet Union, if you still remember him. And then the way to destroy family is to encourage women to leave family, encourage living together without marriage, encourage abortion, and encourage divorce, and encourage kids to leave the family homeschooling, leave family education, go into the hands of the government. And what is that today? It's called a public school. Public school is just equals to government. So in this way, they can destroy the basic unit of American society, which is family. The second, target free enterprise. Small and medium enterprise take the most part of America. And then if in the name of protecting environment, we can erect many strict regulations, and so that to bind them up, so that they are too much, under too much burden, and they cannot operate smoothly, and finally they go bankrupt. In this way, we can bring down the economy, because big enterprise came from small enterprise growing big. Without small enterprise, small businesses, the big company will just always there, and will become inefficient, will become stale. And the third is targeting the morality, because faith is the biggest reason for America to be powerful, to be strong. And we need to let Americans to lose their belief and stray away from God. They need to do two things. First, send people to infiltrate the churches. The second, through propaganda, have Americans accept the homosexual movement, which was led by the Communist Party. As long as homosexual become a trend, then the root of the morality will be uprooted. And that will destroy the Christianity. Because homosexuality is what God disallowed. If they can make that a popular thing and commonly accepted, then how can people still believe in God? And furthermore, there's other things. Use high tax to bring down the finance of mid class, and also infiltrate the media, infiltrate the public school, and brainwash the kids, and destroy the next generation, and so on and so forth. So Curtis Bowers was 25-year-old. He was sitting there just in disbelief. He said, what is this? How can this be viable? At that time, the environmental movement is it's the beginning. It was like a fringe group. So they have no strength. So he was thinking about what they're talking about is both ridiculous and also unrealistic. I don't need to worry about that during my lifetime. So he went back to Colorado and reported to his professor, and he let go of this matter. So 15 years later, in the year of 2008, and Bowers was a state legislator. He was appointed by the governor of the state of Idaho. And one day, he got a phone call from a local businessman. And this businessman just asked back him, so do not let an environmental act pass, a local one. Because he said that would not protect the environment, but it will bankrupt his business. There's no way to survive that. At that moment, Curtis Bowers suddenly recalled that conference by the Communist Party in 1992. They used environmental protection, public policy like that to destroy American free, small businesses. He was thinking about, really? Did they carry through? could, what they had planned really happen? So he went back to check his record. So he found that the goal that they set up back then, each of them are just happening one by one. And also at that moment, 50% of marriage in this country ended up in divorce. 40% of kids, they were born not by a married couple. And every single day, 3,000 female had abortion. And every year, there's 19 million new sexual diseases cases. And also in his state of Idaho, a very conservative state, 7% of the high school students try to suicide. And those data, as he found out, that really, really shocked him. So after that, he started to check the name list of those people who attended this communist conference. And he found that many of them already taken the high position in the government. A few names, they are just nearby. They are by President Obama at that time. And so they are deciding on the policy of American government. So, and at that time already, in the year 2008, the feminist movement has been going strong, and there's degeneration of the culture, and then pornography was running rampant, and the kids are being taught sexuality and homosexuality. And also people are encouraged to drink excessively and so on and so forth, and political correctness, which was also talked about in that Berkeley conference, become a norm. Okay, America has changed, has deeply changed. This cultural Marxism is getting real. It's contrary to what he thought back then. So he was talking to himself. So what do I do? What do I do now here? Okay, so the only way, the way that he thought about is that I need to produce a documentary, which is in the most direct, effective way to tell American people that what is this happening there? What they are plotting on. So he doesn't know how to produce film. So he got a wife, okay, he got 9 kids, okay, big family, okay. So he just mobilized everybody to just buy the equipment and learn how to do it. So he quit his job, okay. He just used up his saving and then started working on this film. And in terms of content, he found 25 scholars who devote their life study Marxism and study American communism, and then the top scholar in this country. So after 2 entire years, he finished this documentary, 135 minutes. Yeah, so it's called the Grinding Agenda 1. Now it's called Agenda 1, Grinding American Down. So that was launched in 2010, and at that time, it won the award, the Independent Production Award of the Christian Film Festival in San Antonio. Okay, he got the award is like $101,000, and that was a great encouragement to him and his family. Then after the showing, after the showing of the film across the U.S., every week it was shown for about more than 1,000 theaters altogether. A few million people watched it. So after that, he feel that he still have to let more Americans watch this movie. Okay, so he started to do his own tour. Okay, he get on the road and go to city after city, and so along the way, for the audience who came to see his film, they bought a DVD and share with friends. Some of them buy 5, some of them buy 10, and share that with the family and the friends. And usually in one type of viewing, there were about 200 or 300 people. And after that, they turn on the light. He went to the front and give a few, talk for a few minutes. At that time, he see many people. They have tears all over their face. Some of them look very solemn. They just stare at the ground. Because to them, this is too unbelievable. Communism is able to infiltrate the U.S. to this extent. Okay, some old age people went to the stage saying that we feel that something's happening to America, but we don't know, what caused this change. And so after seeing this movie, we finally come to understand what's happening. We have to step out. We have to stand up. We have to stop their plot. So just without marketing, without just through word of mouth and on a grass level, he just drive around and spread the news about this movie. Okay, so 7 years later, in 2015, the second movie came out. It's called Agenda 2, Master of Deceit. And that also won the Christian Worldview Film Festival, okay, the best documentary. So after the second film, he felt that we need to promote across the country. We're living in the state of Idaho, which is the northwest of America. It was too remote, okay? It's not convenient to go anywhere. So they decided to sell the house, and they bought a second-hand, bus. And so they started to travel on the bus. At night, they sleep in the car. In the daytime, they drive the bus and they go to the next stop. So they do this tour, this film tour for 10 months. At that very year of 2016, they went to 40 states of America. Okay, almost every night they go to a new city and stay there. So they connect the church in the next city or the tea party, and then just show the film there. And in the summer of that year, the AC, okay, the air conditioner on the bus was broken. It was as hot as 110 degrees, okay, Fahrenheit. And so in the car, even in the car, it's even hotter than that. So, but they simply had no time stop to repair the AC. Okay, so for entire 3 months, the whole family just bear with the heat, and including the youngest boy, 5-year-old, and he does not have any complaint. He did not have any complaint. On the contrary, the whole family, have this common recognition that this may be a test that's given by the God. Okay, so as they, just rush to the next stop, next city on the bus, they also do homeschooling there. Okay, the mother was teaching the kids, and the kids were learning math, learning history, and along the way, the kids, they don't fall behind with their, academic learning, and then they also learn things they couldn't possibly learn from the book, from the school, and because they learn from the real field as they meet with different people. So anyway, the whole family of Curtis Bowers went to all over America, okay, and they went to altogether 43 states, altogether 60,000 miles. It's like from California to Florida, they ran that for 12 times. So in the year of 2010 and 2011 and 2012 and 2016, in these 4 years, they were all on the road, okay. So at that time I asked him, I said, why don't you contact media? Okay, once you got a media report on you, you don't have to do this kind of, driving, long-term driving. So he said, no media answer our call. So I said, really? Why? Did you contact them? He said, yes, we did. We contacted all of them, but only the staff of Glenbeck. At that time, Glenbeck was with the Fox. Call us once, we explain what we do, and then there's no, hearing back from them. So I asked him, why? Why do you think so? He said, I don't know. Maybe what we reveal is too scary to them, beyond belief to them. So that's why they don't interview us. Well, okay, so then at that one time, he talked about a story at Iowa, okay, after the film, after they played the film, and then they turn on the light, and then there's an old man stood up. He said, congratulations for you figuring this out. But I have to tell you, it's too late for you. We already have your children. So this person is a local college professor, community college. So after saying that, he just walked away. So women start to burst into tears. And because they feel so bad about it. So Curtis Bowers was there on the stage. He said, you know what? This is very common. There are people like him all over America. They're among us. So at the end of the program, and he told me that I asked him, what do you want to say to our Chinese Americans? He said, I know many Chinese Americans came from communist China. You have the feeling of about living under the control by the totalitarian regime. Now America needs to educate your kids well, teach your kids well, build strong family, because strong family is the basis of a strong America. Don't do things like some American, they just chase after money, okay? Compared to a good education, compared to a good children, the money is not worth it. The money does not match up with the time that you spend with your kids. So he said, for those Chinese Americans who do not speak good English, I'm willing to teach you. I want to have dialogue with you. I want to listen to your story. I also wish that you would tell your neighbors, tell your friends, American neighbor and American friends, saying that you came from communist China and what kind of experience you lived through. And you tell them that although Americans looks very good, looks very free, but there's this hidden cultural revolution that's going on. And you all know what is a cultural revolution. It's just they give you a beautiful dream, but the fact of the matter is they're killing people. So you tell them the story of China, and also tell those stories to your kids too, for them to know the truth. This is the most important. Yeah, so that's this story. I will stop here a little bit to see how what do you think? Have you heard of this story? Okay, and yeah. So anyway, so let me continue to talk about the next topic, and so that's how to say in the. I want to talk about the history. I want to go back to 140 years ago. Okay, so why do I say 140 years ago? Okay, because on this year 1883, okay, on this day, March 17th, Karl Marx died in London of England. Okay, there are only 9 people attending his funeral. Some other records say 13 people. Some others say 20 or 30 people. But generally speaking, not too many people attending his funeral. He's not very popular while he lived. However, it is after the year after he died, the big change happened, or the big harm happened to our world. So 10 months after his funeral, so Karl Marx's followers established a new organization called the Fabian Society in London. So why do they call it Fabian Society? Because they want to learn from a Rome general. His name is Quintus Fabius. Okay, he is a general of 2 centuries BC in the Rome. So he's also a consul. Okay, consul of Rome, Rome Republic, and also a very famous general. His most accomplishment is that he defeat the general Hannibal from the Carthage from the North America. So if you know, let's talk about this General Hannibal a little bit. So before 3 centuries of 3 centuries BC, and then there's 2 biggest powers, right? Large power in the Western Mediterranean Sea. One of them, of course, is Rome Republic. Another is the Carthage in the North Africa. Okay, so Carthage, they cover their territory, cover the North Africa, like Algeria and Libya and today's Tunisia, right? And also extend to the west to the Spain. Spain today at that time is called Iberia. So anyway, but Rome is on the north and they are on the south. So the 2 countries have 3 wars. It's called the Punic Wars. And the Second Punic Wars, Hannibal is the main leading general from the Carthage and Carthage. And then he was very, very brave. Okay, he lead a army, just go to the north and go through the Alps, right, and invade Rome from the north. And it's like it's a very dangerous trip, right? He's leading a single army and into the territory of Rome. But he's very, very talented. He's just most outstanding general, military strategist in history probably. So he got 3 major battles with Rome, and he won them all. And he just killed 120,000 Rome soldiers, especially on the 3rd one, which is very famous, the Battle of Cannon, right? And he only had 50,000 army, and against the 90,000 Rome army. And on the plain, he's able to encircle with the smaller army, encircle the entire bigger army, and then kill them all. Literally kill them all. Okay, he killed 70,000 of Rome armies. He only lost 6,000 people. So it's like the most outstanding victory in the military history. So facing this invincible, almost like invincible, opponent, Rome doesn't know what to do until finally they got General Fabian. And Fabian adopted a very abnormal strategy. He never faced up to Hannibal and his army. Okay, every time he just harassed Hannibal, he stayed close. He does not engage. He just hit here and hit there and harass them and hit on the on their small troop who go out to collect food and supply line. So in the very beginning, he was laughed at, sneered at by the Romans, saying that you are just scared of fighting with him, and even earned a name called a delayer, okay, a delayer general. But eventually, after Phoebus won over Hannibal, Rome just they admire him, right? Or they finally figure out, oh, this guy's great. So General Phoebus was regarded as the forefather of the guerrilla strategy, okay, guerrilla war. So okay, let's come back to London, and in this Phoebian society, they just want to adopt this Phoebus strategy, okay? They do want to change the society, turn them into communist society, but they found out if they go out and claim so or demand so or force so, they will run into police and they will be defeated right away. They feel that we don't have to defeat the current system. We use it. We get into it, become part of it, and eventually we can win over the power. So, as you know, the Phoebian's mark, okay, is a turtle. It's a turtle. Turtle means that I have time. I can wait. And underneath the turtle, there's one sentence saying that when I strike hard. And then another symbol of Phoebian society is like it's a wolf, right? It's a whether we can show that. Yeah, the wolf, as you see, the black is a wolf, and the wraparound is a sheep. Okay, so it means that I'm gonna just I'm just faking to something else, and then to confuse you and to mislead you until my chance came. So as we all know, the communism is this Lenin, Stalin, and Mao Zedong, and Vietnam, and Cuba, and so on and so forth. They are called a violent communism. Okay, there are ways to use violence and the killing and so on and so forth. And they started in Russia, and then they go to China, and they go to Vietnam, Cuba, North Korea, Cambodia, and so on and so forth. Okay, that's what we know. That's the Communist Party we know. But there are two branches of communism. The first one is what we already know. The second one is this starting with this this Phoebian society. It's called a gradual communism. So, and to them, they believe that communism or the socialism can be implemented through a democratic institution, and in a way that completely conforming to the law, and that's what they believe in. Okay, and so time goes by, and after Phoebian society was established in 1984, and the next place they go to, the next place they got established is the Frankfurt University. Okay, they established a very, very important institute. It's called Institute of Social Research in the Frankfurt University. And over there, they got established. From there, finally, they invade. I use this word. They invade America, which will be the next time that I'll be talking about. And I do want to spend some time and just sort out all those things. So this route is just like a Phoebian society. The whole idea is to cover up in the hidden way. So it's not easy to get clear the route that they are taking, but through detailed enough research, we're able to identify that. That's what I will bring to you. Okay. And then that's all for today. And Mark Somas, you said Sound of Hope News, wonderful research. Thank you. Wow, thank you. Thank you, Mark. And Weben Hat, you said excellent way. You must know where you come from to know where you are going. Yes, thank you. All right. Curtis, you said IRS will kill me. Lots of laugh. Yeah. 80,000 people. Actually, not really. 80,000 people with guns. That's a little overstating. But let me tell you what's the exact number. Okay, it's the 57% of that $80 billion in 10 years. What does that convert to? Convert to 52,000 enforcement officials. 52,000 people enforcement official. That's a big army still. I think that allocation, okay, that entitlement, will just do something good because it will hopefully modernize the IRS system, okay, and they're very, very stale. If you ask any accountant, tax analyst, they know that how much trouble, how problematic that is. But beyond that, do they need to hire another 52,000 enforcement officials? What does that mean to you and me, and who they'll be checking on? That's a big question. All right, so we'll bring more of that to you next time. And yeah, Webben said thank you, Wei, and thank you, Webben. And okay, if you like our show, please make sure you have to click that likes before you go and leave your comment. Comment will always, help with the algorithm, the YouTube algorithm, to push the show to more people. That's their way, and we have to work with that. And yeah, okay, thank you very much. Have a good night. We'll see you tomorrow. Bye-bye. Take care.